I recently made a video about why I am an anti-faithist, one who opposes the use of faith to find God or determine reality. There seems to be a lot of misunderstanding of what faith is. People are saying things and responding with things like, well, you have faith that the groceries you buy aren't laced with poison. That is not faith. That is the same thing as claiming that it takes faith to sit in a chair because I don't know for certain that it won't break. The problem is that those who argue this way are equivocating two entirely different concepts, both of which can be called faith, loosely speaking. Dictionaries boil faith down to two basic definitions. The first one is confidence or trust in a person or thing. The second one is belief that is not based on proof or evidence. These are not the same meanings. The first definition is a colloquial way of saying, I have confidence in you because of what I know about you. It is a trust that is based on evidence and past experience. The second definition is all about believing something to be true that you have no evidence for. This version of faith is a method by which a person determines that something is true. Hebrews 11:1 uses this definition of faith when it says, "Now faith is the confidence in what we hope for and the assurance about what we do not see." Both faitheists and anti-faitheists use the first definition of faith, but they do not both use the second definition. So, for the sake of clarity, let's just refer to the first definition as confidence and the second definition as faith. Faitheists have confidence in faith as a valid way to determine reality. If anti-faitheists do not have confidence in faith as a valid way to determine reality. The reason is because anything can be believed by faith and nothing can be demonstrated by faith. Faith is utterly useless to anyone who desires to know things that are real and true, things that comport with reality. So, back to our groceries and chairs examples, both faitheists and anti faitheists have confidence that their groceries are safe and that chairs will hold them up because they have good reasons and past experiences to rely on. But faith does not enter the equation because we know food and chairs exist and we know they are typically safe. When food is poisoned or a chair breaks, those are anomalies. And while they might make you skeptical the next time you buy groceries or sit in a chair, you would have little reason to believe that every item in the grocery store was poisoned or that every chair you buy will break. Plus, you can further investigate the groceries and the chairs before you eat them or sit in them if you choose. Just don't eat the chairs because that could be a problem. Anyway, these are all things that are based in rudimentary logic and reason. They do not require faith. But when a faithist says they have faith that God exists, they mean they believe he exists because they don't like the other options, including the option of I don't know. But not liking the other options does not mean that you have any good reason to believe your option is true. The only reason you think God exists is because you have been programmed to have confidence in faith, belief that is not based on proof or evidence, which means you can't investigate it further. You've already drawn the conclusion without any evidence to begin with. So, what evidence are you going to investigate? I encourage you to get a copy of How to Kill God the Easy Way from Amazon, where I explain the differences between these two usages of faith in detail and show how you have been programmed to trust faith as a legitimate method for determining truth. Also, join me at Deconversion Nation on Facebook if you would like to learn more and to dialogue with other anti faitheists.